Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have JoyToy Warhammer 40k Grey Knights Terminator Retius Akantar, and it comes in a plastic sealed box as you see it spinning there, showing off on the back the figure and accessories, and this figure is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to get it out as this is my first JoyToy, and let's go ahead and get this Terminator out of the box. Straight out of the package, Retius comes with a pair of gripping hands equipped. When it comes to extra hands, we only get hands for the left hand, and we got ourselves a fist hand, a saluting or pointing to go into a certain direction, or we got the open hand, like expressive support hand. Now, my biggest gripe about the hands is that the port or the socket that the ball pops into isn't consistent with all the hands, and it should be for the price that you pay for these figures. You can see this is the gripping hand, and it's a lot bigger than these other ones. So you either got to add heat, you might have to Dremel them. I'm not sure yet because I haven't heated them or Dremel them, but I just wanted to show you that first off, this was a pain in the butt to get off the ball joint, and then you're supposed to pop these smaller ones on. I don't think so. Retius comes with a lot of accessories, and one of the accessories comes as this book with the knife stabbed into it, with the skull handle that looks awesome. It looks really, really cool. And then on the back, it has the Grey Knight insignia. It's got some stuff sculpted in there. All this sculpted in detail, paintwork in just this little piece alone. They dirtied up the pages with the wash, and you can see this is going to port into his back. Here we have one of the signature weapons for the Grey Knights, and this is the sword. Look at the detail in the handle, the golden skulls all over on the sides. We got that tube coming through, leading all the way to this nice blade that has their insignia, and it's just done in this cool blue. The edges are sort of gray, so it's not just a solid color. It's just super well done. Now, Retius is a flag bearer, and he comes with a flag. And this thing's ginormous. The detail in this is just gorgeous. It's got the purity seals with the skull at the top with the indent of their insignia. And we got some scrolls that are actually on these chains that you can move out of the way. So you can move them. You got this crest right here. You can move the skull and everything. The whole flag being a chunk of plastic actually moves as well. Sculpted nicely on the inside. A little silver at the bottom with some rivets. And you even got the triple skulls on the back. Looking awesome. But the main thing that draws you to this piece is look at the detail. Actually, let me move these scrolls out of the way. So you can actually see like the sculpt work in just this flag. I don't think they could have pulled this thing off if it was fabric. But you got this Grey Knight Terminator just piercing his sword through a demon. Looking super awesome. All the purity seals at the bottom. I mean, if you saw this with a bunch of Terminators, you knew there was going to be some cleansing. When it comes to the Grey Knight Terminators, these guys are amazing. They're bulkier and they have a lot more clutter all over them compared to your average Space Marine. They got seals, they got little charms, they got all that type of stuff. Like this guy, you know, tons of sculpt work. It says Banish, Faith. It's got a little pouch here. A bunch of these little skulls. Purity seals. He's got like a little like charm box thing with like a broken bone in it. Bunch of words. It says Night, Glory. Skulls on there, Champion. These guys are done super well. And it's not only just this gray, all this stuff has sort of like a hue of this like light blue metallic. You can sort of see how the light picks it up. The eyes look awesome. The tubing on the helmet look great. He's got this like giant like pauldron seal going on. He's got more words and a book with the sword going through. Like this is just a crazy piece. It's clean. It's got wash. You got this little like book here hanging around off his armor. He's got tubes going into his bolter. The bolter has like some gold. It's crazy. Look at the little skull right there with the sword. Bolter has cut out like barrel. Like it's so nice to see the detail. Like I was painting the miniatures of these, and to get a figure that's articulated and it's painted better than how I could paint the miniatures, it's just insane. Look at the detail they sculpted into these. These guys are just awesome. I am not disappointed. The hand is a little bit of a bummer, but I love the way these guys look. And these are the Grey Knights. My buddy Paul, he picks up the Chaos Marines, and they're like demony and evil. So pretty much like who would fight these guys? But these guys would also be just wanting that purity. But this is just a sweet looking figure. Diving into articulation, I do want to point out that he does have some floating bits, like this little belt piece down here that sort of floats around. So if you see it, the figure's not loose. It's just the floating bits on the belt. So his head can look up and down like so. Even get some attitude in there. And can also look left and right. I mean, you have that little confined space for the head to move around. So it is restricted a little bit. And then we got these arms, which have these giant floating pieces. So when you lift up the arms, you can get them out a little bit. But the pauldrons at the top hit. You can do a full 360. We got a bicep swivel in there. And we get double jointed elbows, which even with the tubes are not restricted. So you get a nice bend out of them. You get rotation. It's a ball joint at the wrist, so you get all that movement out of the wrist. Looking awesome. We get a ab area, which you just have to grab it a little bit and sort of hula hoop around. He's got the hula hoop area at the waist as well. So he can lean forward quite a bit and lean back. So he's a chunky boy, but in that armor, he can still lean back and forth. And I guess this is like a whole diaper piece. It's pretty much not just a belt. His legs can do, let me get his arms up. Legs can go out this far. He can kick up, not that far. He can kick up that far because of the side skirt. It's got thigh cut up there. Double jointed knee. Get the ankle bend, pivot out of the ankle, and toe bend. I also want to dive into some more articulation that you can see a little bit better. You get a side, like their little skirt flaps are like a ball joint, so you can sort of move it around. This is pegged into it, so that can shift. So some of this stuff that's on him it floats around and stuff like that. You can rotate. Little pouches on there. This looked like I can move it a little bit, but you can really shift some of the stuff around, or even like this piece, if I wanted to, don't know why I'd want to, you can totally unplug it altogether. Now it's time for some comparison. I did want to bust out a custom little Sergeant Slaughter 3 3/4 inch because that is to show the scale. Now, these guys are pretty much these guys in full armor. So that's why they're a lot more bulkier and bigger than your average 3 3/4 figure. And we can bust out some other comparisons here. We got ourselves, the zombified Scarlet Witch from Marvel Legends. So these guys have some shelf presence for sure. And but it's still cool to see, let's get her out of here, just so you can really see when you put the Sarge right in front. Like if you were to sprawl him out, it would look like a guy is wearing the power armor. I mean, I love that. Now, with this being my first JoyToy figure, I'm glad I went down the Warhammer 40k route. I normally wouldn't have, but they released Grey Knights, and with me being a Grey Knight player, I couldn't resist but to pick this figure up. And everything is true for all the JoyToy collectors that are out there that told me JoyToy is awesome. Articulation's on point, the paintwork, the sculpt work, it is a phenomenal piece. This figure doesn't disappoint. He has a lot of stuff on him. He's a lot of clutter on him because that's how the Grey Knights are. So if you see him compared to an average Space Marine, Space Marines aren't nearly as cluttered. And these guys they're just so awesome. I like their story. And when you're picking these up, these are imports, so they can be pricey. So don't jump on that big bad toy store bandwagon. Do some homework, do some research, find some stuff for a lower cost. Like I found these guys off Amazon and saved some money, which was, I was surprised to see them on Amazon, to be honest. And these figures are awesome. They're fun. And I look forward to building up my Grey Knights army. And that sums up my unboxing and review of JoyToy's Warhammer 40k Terminator Retius Akantar. If you guys are enjoying my content, hit that like button. New to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Help the channel evolve and grow. And if you've been here before, share the channel with fellow like-minded collectors, and let's get this channel growing. And I want you guys to hit the silver bell notification so you know when I post up a new video or go live for State of the Art on every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.